Folks, again, this come from my beehive. They're about 15 or 20 feet over here, and I think this has to be out of my C hive. It's the last one that has a queen in it, and a couple days ago when I looked in it, they had made some queen cells that weren't capped yet, so I assumed that in the next couple of days they would be swarming, and today it's finally warmed up a little bit. So I don't know why I've got two batches of bees here, but they're on the picket fence, and they're also on this little sign that says something about your honey. So what I'm going to try to do first is see if I can see a queen hanging here. Yeah, I don't really notice anything, so let's just go ahead and get these shuck in here. Do that right there, and we'll put the top on it here. I'm going to make a little walkway for them so they can actually come across here, maybe, and walk across and walk on into this here box. The bees are fanning good. Nobody's on the sign anymore. That's kind of fitting, ain't it? Lay that down out of the way here. The reason I usually try to lay a sheet down is because it's very easy to lose some bees in the grass. And when I'm all said and done with it, since this is a black box, I like to wrap the whole sheet up around it and tie it at the top. Once I shut the lid here and tie it down, that way if there's any bees still flying around, they'll be inside it whenever I haul it, and also the sun won't be making them too hot inside this here swarm catching box I have. I do have ventilation in it, as you can see, but still on a hot day you wouldn't want the bees to get too warm and overheat. Maybe I can put them on the ground here and see if they'll start marching over to the hive. It's still kind of funny that there was two sets of bees here, but there should be only one queen. They are flying around the box a little bit. There's still quite a lot of them hanging on the outside here. I don't know if I like that yet or not, because they could all of a sudden decide to just take off and leave this box. I've got about probably 70–80% of them are in the box, and I still have a few down here on the fence congregating. I think I'm going to back this up here and get it away from this fence and see if they'll come to it. All right, what I'm going to do here is, I'm pretty sure the queen's in there. I'm going to lock this box up and let all the extra bees come and get around this box and collect on the sides, and then I'll just fold the sheet up around them and tie it up, and then I'll take it out to my beehive I want to take it to and dump them in the box, and that way most of these bees then will be tied up and be able to go with it. So we'll see what happens here. As it's closed here finally, you can see that the bees are kind of collecting on the vents there. Anything that's left here, there's hardly anything left over there on the fence, a few flying around. And if there's any stragglers, again, they should go right back over here to, I believe it came from my C hive over there, the farthest one, is where this should have come from. All right, folks, I'm out here at my new beehive location. I built this hive this winter, and I've uncovered it, undid the sheet I had around it. Still a few bees underneath here from the ride out here. So I'm going to get ready to install it here in this box. First thing I need to really do is to tap it down. The bees are usually, again, hanging off the ceiling whenever I come out with a box like this, so I'll shake it hard and then I'll try to get them to go ahead and dump here into the hive. Okay, we'll leave it like that for a little bit here. Hopefully I got the queen shook in there. Okay. That box is cleaned out. Don't see a queen in here. I'm going to leave about 12 bars open here. I currently have a comb and a half of honeycomb in here. So hopefully the queen will start laying in it and maybe start laying. One of the reasons I really wanted to quickly get it out of my yard was it was noon, and since they landed just a few feet away from the original hive, I knew from experience and watching others that they would not have stayed there long. So I was fortunate that I caught them when I did. And I really didn't want to mess around long, because a lot of times when I catch a swarm away from their hive, they're pretty good about going in the box and getting in there pretty quick. And at noon there when I was doing it, they were staying up at the top, a lot of them, and usually they don't do that. So I was afraid they might get the idea of all of a sudden taking off again. They just want to try to get away from their original hive. So that's why I tried to quickly get them in there and get them covered up. And I waited a couple hours. Now it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm bringing it out to this new location here and drop them off in the hive, and they really should stay. I've been pretty fortunate about not losing any of the swarms I've caught. Right now they are starting to sit here and fan, so the bees in the air should be drawn back into here. and I'll close this up and I'll leave them alone and see what they think of their new home. Hopefully they'll be here. I'll check on them in a couple days just to make sure they're building straight comb. And this will be another new beehive. This is again the hive I built this winter. So it's the style I like at the moment, and we'll see how this works out. I've got her all closed up, and I've been here just a few more minutes. It probably took me less than 20-25 minutes to get them in the hive here, and they've all settled down and they're inside now checking everything out. And we've got a few of the bees starting to fly in and out, maybe starting to looking for some forage, finding them some place for water and nectar and pollen. So I feel like it's late enough in the afternoon that they'll probably call this home. Tonight it's supposed to get down to 40. So I really think they ought to be able to stay here maybe and make it. And again, like I said, I'll check on them in a few days to see how they're doing.